Good afternoon, everyone, to another Brew at 2. How do the weeks roll round? How do the weeks roll round? It's no sooner Tuesday one week than it's Tuesday the next week. We've got the bats in residence. We've got the scam tally with us. In fact, I'll put the bat map a little bit further round where you can see it properly. And we've got our brew, so we're all ready to rock and roll with another Brew at 2. So I hope you're all feeling well. We've even brought the sunshine with us. Look, sunshine, just in case you're wondering what that yellow thing is in the sky. Here comes T-Boy. Round of applause for T-Boy. Notice that he timed it just nicely so that he could make a grand entrance.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Apparently Eric's buffering.
Buffering.
That's not good, is it? Eric's buffering. I've got a yes, yes, yes button. I need a no, no, no button, don't I? So we've got a busy session today. We've got some Ask the Audience questions, some audience participation and research for you to help with. Let me just write that down because I'll have forgot I have written it down. I'll have forgotten. You know what my memory's like. So what's to do today then? Well, let's start at the top, shall we? If you're watching this on replay and it's the first time that you've watched Brew at 2, welcome to our batty gang. You're probably wondering why we have a variety of bats hung in the background. You're probably wondering why it's called bats for shorthand. Well, oh goodness me, Eric's got a black screen. Is everybody else managing to see everything all right? I don't like the sound about that. The sound's 3 seconds behind, says Cat. Goodness me, that must be discombobulating if you're hearing words and then seeing my mouth moving at a different pace. Is it all right for everybody else? Is it all right for everybody else? Everybody? Right, okay. Right, well, it must just be the
Russian
internet connection. It must be the internet connection. We'll come on to that in a minute. So, what was I going to say then? Yes, bats. That we were talking about bats, weren't we? And our family at the background. Anybody that's new here, welcome. First of all, well, feel free to join in. Don't be shy. But you will notice that Brew at 2 spells bats, which of course we all are because we're all as loopy as bats, and we all have our bat cups, which means that we all get onto the bat map. If you want a bat cup, you can get one with the link underneath the video, because we're just a tiny little independent doing our best for the place where we love from. So if you buy a cup, buy a mug, or if you make a donation, or if you do a super chat or a super sticker or anything like that, then that helps us to carry on making more great content. And Explore the UK says, will I say hello to Chris? So hello, Chris. Hi, Chris. Hi, Chris. So, right, where would you like to begin? Where would you like to begin? Begin at the beginning. It's a very good place to start. Let's start with Do Re Mi. I won't sing. You'll be pleased to know. Right, I think we'll start with some good news. We'll start with some good news. Drum roll and fanfare. We have new bats. We have new bats while we're talking about them to add to our bat map. So all these lovely people, can you remember, people, when we started doing Brew at 2, and we'd only got a few of us that were watching and a few of us that were actually hearing with us, and we've grown as quite a big family, haven't we? So all these people around the edge of here and all these people on the map have all got their own bat maps and bat cups, And I'm just realised I found it. I found Shropshire. I just realised I was going to show myself up then, because my knowledge of geography is about, pardon, I just said T-boy in training, whimper. My knowledge of geography is about as good as my knowledge of street names. Poor. So I have a little tale to tell you about our new bats, because I want to welcome Andy and Liz. Is that you, Liz Auger? I don't know whether I've got the... No, it's not. It's that's Liz Beach, isn't it? Or are you the same one, Liz? That it's just said from Shropshire. Are you the same one? Maybe not. Anyway, are you ready? This is another complicated tale of who lives where. So Andy and Liz have bought their cups, and I'm going to put them on the map in the minute. And Andy and Liz sent me an email as well and said to let you know that they've placed an order for their brew at 2 mugs, and additionally they are soon to relocate to Fleetwood from Shropshire once the solicitors can pull the threads together. You may be waiting a while because solicitors don't exactly work it. Ah, right. So Liz Auger lives near Ludlow. Anyway, this Liz, Andy and Liz Beach, if you're following this, you're a better man than I am, Gungadin, are moving to Fleetwood from Shropshire once the solicitors can get their act together. Where you place the map pin is entirely up to you. Should we deserve such an accolade? Of course you do. Your videos have been a real tonic to us while we have slaved away at making our house here attractive to a potential buyer, but we got there in the end. Looking forward to meeting you sometime in the spring, when we hope the sea air will revive our spirits in accompany of any new adventures. Well, there's lots for you to find out. Right, so in the interest of getting another pin in another place on the map, I'm going to put the pin for where they live now in Shropshire, which I've just found on the map, so I don't have to show myself up. There you go. Shropshire, right there, look, where it says Shropshire. And I'm going to put you, Andy and Liz, on the map as Fleetwood, because that's where you're going to live. Gren says I'm making his brain hurt. Well, try living here. Try living here, says it then. Believe me. Oh, goodness me. I'm really going to have to sort this map out. I'm really going to have to sort this map out, because we're nearly on the edge, as you might say. That's a cue for another song, isn't it? There you go, Andy and Liz. I've popped you up there near Grampian for the time being. And I'll get me, I promise I'll apply myself and get my things sorted out. The reason I've not done it is, well, I've had other things on my mind. I've had other things to do. So that's that. Right, moving on. I noticed that Explore the UK asked 2 questions. Number one, what's my email address, because they wanted to send some pictures. Well, it's jane@therabbitpatch.co.uk. If you ever want anything doing, shout out, etc. in advance of the show, you need to send me an email, because I've got a mind like a sieve. So you need to make sure that you tell me in advance. And then the other thing that Explore the UK said, am I wearing my curtains? Am I wearing my curtains? No. It's a dress. And I've got my sheepskin Liberty bodice on underneath it, for reasons which we shall come on to in a moment. And I'm sure you will all be following the situation with Russia. And the next thing I've got on my list is gas! Exclamation mark. Because last week we were talking about T-Boy and his penchant for filling the kettle to the top when he's only making one drink. Yes, he does. Which is not really very good, is it? And then last week I I got an email. I read my gas meter, I submitted the numbers online, and I got an email from the gas board. And I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to share this with you because when I saw it, I went, how much? Now, you've got to bear in mind that there are 4 of us that live here. It's a reasonable sized house. We work from home. So we've got lots of computer equipment. We've got multiple rooms that we need to keep warm. Obviously, we've got to bathe or shower or wash.
No, I think you can
Sometimes.
limit that to once every 6 months.
Kevin. Just a minute. Come here, Kevin. Let me see if I can chip some ice off you. I can't speak, it's too cold. Joking apart, the other day I'd been working at the weekend up here. And he came into the living room fully dressed. He'd got his dressing gown on. He'd got his dressing gown on. He's hood up on his jacket. His gloves on. I said, you cold then?
It's not plugged in.
I keep telling him he needs some fingerless gloves to type in. You can't type in gloves that have got fingers in. I keep these in the office when my hands are cold because I do have, you know what they say, cold hands, warm heart. I do have cold hands.
She's not told you how much yet.
I've not told you how much yet, exactly. So I filled my gas reading in, and then I got an email from the gas board. I'm going to show you this. And when I said, bear in mind, there's 4 of us live here and we work from home. Just look at this. Your current gas bill is that much a year-ish. £1,424 plus electric. Now, I don't know what you think, but that's enough. But look at this. Can you hear my voice going up and up and up? 2,514. I mean, for God's sake, it's nearly double. So I printed it out and I took it round to the living room when we were having our dinner. I said, right, I've got an important agenda item to discuss. Gas. You're shivering. And that's from the 1st of April. 2,514. What's that divided by 12? Let me get my calculator. 2,514 divided by 12. £209 a month. Plus electric. This is right. That's it. You don't put the heating on in the morning just because you think it feels as if it ought to go on. You only put it on if it's freezing and it's the middle of winter. And I think we should all follow Jane Kelt's guidance. And I think we should all order a pair of long johns from Poundland for £1.99. Oh, sorry, Pound Shop online, £1.99. Which is why I've got my t-shirt on underneath my dress. Honestly, I ask you. And I've got my cardigan on the back of the thing as well. Jane at therabbitpatch.co.uk. That's for Explore the UK. It's in the description under the video when we've finished. So obviously, a lot of this is being brought about by Russia. And then this morning they said that if we, oh, here we go again.
Oil.
Just a minute. We've got a nutcase on the job. Let's get rid of these before we go any further. Put user in timeout. Bye.
Who was that?
We've got an idiot in our midst.
Sat down there.
Yeah, I didn't mean Kevin. Yeah, so I've just got rid of somebody that's trying to talk about online strips without clothing. I don't think it's Kevin. It'd be too cold. Anyway, yeah, so we were talking about Russia, weren't we? So, apparently, if we stop the import of Russian oil, they're going to turn the gas off from Russia, which they supply 40% of Europe's gas. So we may all be shivering, wearing t-shirts and sending for long johns before they're finished. So, anyway, this morning I had my own third world problem. And I got a text at 7:15 this morning to tell me that the shopping wasn't coming because, as you good people know, we have our shopping delivered on a Tuesday. We've changed our time so that it doesn't conflict with Brew at 2 because it was interrupting T-Boy in training. And that would never do, would it? Because he's not got much of an attention span for being interrupted. So I got a text at 7:15 to say that my shopping's not come. Can I ring this number? So I did. And then, first off, at 7:15, the line only opens at 8 o'clock. I thought, well, why did you bother telling me to... Why did we bother telling me to ring it? So at 8 o'clock, I managed to get through. Can I reorder it, please? Because payment had not been taken. I thought it was something to do with my card. So I said, well, can you just duplicate it? Because what I asked for is what I want. She said, no, you've got to place another order. So, apparently, it was a problem that they'd had with a lot of oh, somebody's just asked a contentious question. I'll answer you in a second. Calder Vale, was it? Somebody? Just a second.
It's colder here.
Calder here, yeah, exactly. Live chat. Just a second, my thing's gone odd. Calderdale, yes. Oh, I've completely lost my train of thought now. What were I saying?
You were reordering.
Yes, reordering. Apparently it was a problem a lot of people had had. It was a problem at their end. And it sounds like everything had gone peaked on. So I told husband, and we both said exactly the same thing: Russia. So I'm just hoping that they've not got into the internet pipelines as well, or we will be for it. We'll be for the high jump. We shall be. So there you go. Somebody's just asked, while we're on the subject of, oh, is that another one? Just excuse me a second. Just excuse me a second. There's an idiot putting silly messages on. Right, get rid of them. I think that's it. I think they've gone. Hi, Senga. You back with us? Right, so Calderdale was asking, what did I think to fracking while we were on the subject of gas? What do I think to think to fracking? Well, everything in life is a balance, is it not? Is that a drum roll, Kevin?
Start shivering.
He's what shivering? What's shivering?
I'm shivering.
Oh, the soundtrack in the background apparently is Kevin shivering. What do I think to fracking? Well, everything is a question of balance, and everything that you do that is beneficial to the Western world has an impact. Literally everything has an impact. I mean, think about plastic, everything that you can think of. And obviously we are in a position where we're going to all need power, and it would be nice to be self-sufficient in that supply of power. So I think putting concrete down the wells, which is what they're doing as of now, as of we speak, is a little bit short-sighted. I would at least have just waited a bit, because they're going to be well helped up if in a fortnight we can't get any gas at all and we've got plugged up wells. That's what I think. I'm not trying to start a riot. I know fracking is a very contentious subject, but you've got to remember that you're talking to somebody that grew up in the middle of the coalfields. And, well, yeah, literally, that's why I've always got a dirty face. It's a coal mug. So, just before I forget, one other thing I did forget to tell you. Last week, when we were marvelling at my... That's full of wind, so if anybody's got a turbine, they're away. I think if you could power electricity off the gas that's produced by the collective mammalian population of the world, we'd be all right, wouldn't we? Would we be all right? Yes, we would. Yes. Crispy's made a very good point. 96 watching and only 35 likes actually on mine. So get so sharing your thumbs. So last week we were talking about the Irish Sea and we didn't know where it stopped and started and where the line was on the map. So hi Emma. Hi, Emma's new. Hi Emma. So T-Boy looked it up and apparently this bit up here is the Irish Sea, which is kind of roughly where we are. And then the bit down here at the bottom of Wales is called St George's Channel.
And also known as the Celtic Sea.
And then the bottom bit down here is known as the Celtic Sea. So that's your geography lesson for today. I bet you didn't know that, did you? Bet you didn't know that, did
I've
you?
just done 21 and I didn't know.
Oh, Crispy, that's very kind. Crispy says if I need any mods, let them know and they'll check chats and comments. Yeah, that's really good of you. Just give me a oi when you see something that we shouldn't be seeing. Because we always have one idiot, don't we? Occasionally. We don't do bad actually for idiots. Bats, lots of them. Fracking produces microseismic activity. There is always microseismic activity in unconsolidated sediments as in the FYLDE. Oh, we've kept having seismic activity. Right, anyway, moving on. So, a favour and a bit of market research. Favour first. Last week I told you that we were trying to give you a bit different ways to get your updates from Visit FYLDE Coast, because of course we don't just do this. We also publish 8 websites, we publish social media pages, and we publish a weekly email newsletter, which is now being joined by a weekend newsletter, which has all the things for you to do at the weekend, lots of ideas and lots of suggestions and a full events list. Completely separate to that, we've set up a new way of you getting updates as I put them on the website. I've got International Women's Day, Eric, I've written it down. So it's a completely different system. So every time I update something on Visit FYLDE Coast, you will get an alert to tell you that I've updated it. So if you want to sign up for that, I will put the link and the instructions in the comments underneath this video. It's not difficult. That's the first thing that I would say. So that and the email newsletter I'll put in comments. I'm sorry I went a bit vacant then, a bit more vacant than normal, but I was just trying to read what you were writing. I was. Right, so that's that. So now then, are you ready? Are you ready? drum roll and fanfare. I think I told you a couple of weeks ago that we were opening another shop online. And this other shop online is not selling our stuff, it's selling other people's stuff. Oh, Crispy says, what about a WhatsApp group? I'm trying to set it up for Blackpool vloggers and moderators if you want to join. That would be very useful, actually. Oh, thank you, Senga. You're all throwing things at me all at once, aren't you? Yes, I would, please, Crispy. So if you want to bob me an email and I'll send you the number. And thank you, Senga. Thank you, Senga, for the super sticker. I think it's a super sticker. Yeah, it's a super sticker. Oh, here we go again. Here's another one. Me dug. I wonder if this is Russia sticking the nose in. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder. Right, so yes, we've got this shop online and we are helping small local independent businesses to sell their stuff online because a lot of them have got absolutely no idea how to do it. So that's where we come in. So we've already got Pets and Puzzles in Cleveland's online, which I told you about, I think. And our second one is nearly online, is it, Kevin?
No, our second one is online.
Our second one is
Seaside
online.
Emporium.
Oh yes, sorry. We've put Seaside Emporium on there as well. So the third one.
The third one will be online this week, I reckon.
This week, which is one of the artisans from Cleveland's Market. It is what's she called? Crafty Moose Crafts, which is Vic, the girl that does the knitting, and she does some beautiful stuff, I have to say. So there's a selection of various different things. So if anybody's watching this who sells on the FYLDE Coast, it's not at this moment open for anybody from anywhere. You've got to be Fleetwood to Lytham in this area, and you want to sell online and you don't want to do it yourself, get in touch and we will help you to facilitate that. So that's that. So anyway, given the fact that we're doing that, I thought it would be churlish not to have a range of our own products as well to sell, because I know everybody loves their everybody loves their brew at 2 cups. I'm just laughing. Sean's just put me off. Listen, are you ready, Kevin?
Yes.
Listen to this.
It's a joke.
It is. Sean Island says, are you ready? Are you ready, people? Jane would make a great PM. Someone with a calming voice and no hidden agenda. Just what we need right now. You weren't watching then, Sean, when I was talking about the gas bill. That was quite funny, that. That would quite amuse me. I don't have any hidden agenda. That's very true. That is very true.
And you'd make a good PM.
Really?
Yeah.
Kevin, T-Boy in training says I'd make a good PM. Bruce says we couldn't do any worse. Nice one. Paul's going to vote for me anyway.
That's not much of a vote of confidence, is it?
What we're talking about here, wedding chapel. Oh right. I know quite a lot about the wedding chapel. I've been inside the bottom of it, but I've not actually been upstairs into a wedding, because I'm going to end up being Prime Minister by Edinburgh at 2. Everybody's voting for me. But the only problem is it would have to be the Common Sense United Party, wouldn't it? There isn't one. There isn't one. We don't do common sense and politics. They're mutually exclusive, I think.
No wars after 8 o'clock and before 5.
No wars after 8 o'clock and before 5. Sean says, the ironing lady rather than the iron lady. Hey, what you like? What you like? That's it. Paul sorted it out. Call it the Mad Bat Party. Perfect. Perfect. And we could have a coalition with Chrissy. I think that's perfect. I think in the space of, what, 3 minutes? I think in the space of 3 minutes, us collective bats have sorted out world politics and put everything to right. So I think you've done a fabulous job there. You can clock off at 3 o'clock, knowing that you've done your bit for humanity. I think we all deserve a pat on their head. There you go. Right, can we get back to my question there? Right, so I want to do a range of Visit FYLDE Coast merchandise. So I've got an Ask the Audience question. My first question is, would you be interested in any? Because there's absolutely no point. There's absolutely no point making things if nobody wants them. I need to make what you want. Andy thinks he's being shortchanged because he thinks my bat mug's bigger than his. No, it's not. It's a standard ordinary bat mug. It's a standard ordinary bat mug from exactly the same place that yours came, Andy. I can promise you that. Oh, but my tea's cold again. So, what do you think to a range of things like t-shirts? Is this the kind of thing that you would wear? Is this the kind of thing that you would want, that you would buy? So if you look, we've got...
Can you do some scarf and gloves?
T-Boy wants the scarf and gloves. So we've got I follow Visit FYLDE Coast on that. Or would you prefer something... Oh, Eric wants a long sleeved one. Would you prefer something like that's not quite as blatant? I'm completely open to your suggestions, but I thought it would be nice, bearing in mind we're starting to get a little bit notorious. Bats, Jane says. Bats.
Yeah,
That's a good idea, Jane. That's a good idea. That. Perfect.
Acceptable.
Yes. Bats. Tote bags. Well, we do have. Just a minute. I shall go into the cupboard. It's only a small cupboard, but I might fit. I shall go into the cupboard and show you. We do have one I prepared earlier. Tote bags. But these are...
Really nice.
I've got one of these. I use it a lot. These are our... I do like to be beside the seaside bags. So they're Seaside Emporium ones. Oh, now then. Matt's just come up with a good one. On the back, it should say, don't follow me, follow Visit FYLDE Coast. Oh, we're on a roll here, folk. Yes, like that. Their own logos on it was closed immediately by YouTube, but you have to be careful with the tips and super stickers being intercepted. Eh? I'm not quite with you there. There's 15. Do you know, it's just like being in our living room watching live chat on a live stream, because there's 15 conversations going off at once, which is exactly what it's like living here. Only there's 4, because there's only 4 of us. Sometimes we do manage more than 4 at once, having said that. Yeah, so this is the Seaside Emporium bag. I'll have to go through comments when we've done and pick up everything that you've all said. Oh, Michael says he was happy and now he's ecstatic. So there you go. I'd like a hoodie actually, Crispy. That's a good idea as well. Yes. Oh, there you go, you see. So we could have, what did we say? Don't follow me, follow, visit FYLDE. Oh, he's written it down. He's written it down. So that's that. That's question number 1. Right. Thank you ever so much for that bit of market research, because there's absolutely no point doing what we think. We need to do what you think, or more to the point, what you want. So, next question. If you do have any ideas afterwards, here's another one. Do you know, it's funny, isn't it, how we get into a war with Russia and then all at once there's shed loads of spam everywhere you go. Very weird. Very weird. We've had lots of spam on our websites, and I still think that Sainsbury's have been fiddled with.
So I spent all day yesterday fighting spammers.
T-Boy in training spent every bit of the day yesterday fighting spammers. I'll put that there and then
Beefing up security.
you can see it. And beefing up security. It's a full-time job. It is. It's a full-time job. Right, I've had another idea. As you know, I've been a bit out of action recently with Told Chris about. Just while we're on that subject, she's feeling a lot better. She's feeling a lot better, although she's still waiting for the results of some more tests that she's had done. So the fat lady is not singing yet at all. But at the moment, we bob along calmly.
She's got a voice back.
Yeah, she's got her voice back. She's never stopped talking for, well, 7 weeks since she came out. So, I had an idea yesterday. I went to Blackpool yesterday morning, as you've probably seen if you saw the new video I've uploaded today about the conference centre and all the preparations that are starting to kick off for the Conservative conference, which is in a week or two. So while I was driving to Blackpool, I was driving along the prom, and I always, when I'm going to Blackpool, I always go what I call the scenic route. I always go on the seafront so that I can have a look and feel like I'm on holiday and be a tourist and whatnot, and see the sea over the edge of the cliff and look at everything that's happening and just sort of soak up that seaside atmosphere. And it occurred to me that you probably would enjoy the journey as well. So I was thinking about how I could possibly record that journey for you to watch, because as I drove down the prom, I've not been to Blackpool for about a fortnight, and we've had some really bad weather. We've had some really bad weather since then. Oh, yeah, spammer, sorry. Sorry. I wonder where they're all coming from today. There's ever such a lot, isn't there? Click my name and give me a spanner and I'll kick your spammers. Well, let's have a look then. Oh, it's too technical for me, that. I'll cope today. I'll cope today, and then we'll does he? Oh, Kat says Walk on the Wild Side does driving vlogs. So many years ago, I did some videos of the drive. In fact, they're still on YouTube, from various different places with my old iPhone. I got a cradle thing that you stuck to the window, and videoed it like that. And then obviously the rules have been tightened up considerably in the last few years, and I think from what research I've done, I think that it is now illegal to use a mobile phone to record a film of a journey. So I wondered whether you lovely people had any knowledge on that subject and whether or not you could confirm or correct that theory. Waiting. I'm waiting for somebody to know. Calderdale says get a GoPro, they're the best.
Yeah.
I'm useless at technology.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought, I wonder if I would be better getting a Dashcam, because then I can record, I can play the journey. I can play the journey. I mean, what are you supposed to use? What can you use legally? Can you use a GoPro? Does that come under the same heading as a phone? Because I don't really want to, number one, break the law and end up all over the front page of the Gazette, which wouldn't be a bad thing altogether, would it? Because there's no such thing as bad publicity. Eh?
To be old news.
To be old news. Or a GoPro, or a Dashcam, because then I could just say out loud. I mean, I've always talked to myself, it's not a problem. Contact your local police and ask them. You're not that daft, Jane, are you? You're brainy. I can't say any other.
What about trying it and see if you come home at night?
Oh, goodness me. You can use the phone for sat nav. You're just not allowed to touch it while driving, I believe, says it. It's all very confusing. And then, of course, the other thing is, just a second, I'm going to cough. Exactly, Gren. That's just what I was going to say. The other thing is that I need to be able to use the technology, because I've looked at GoPros for vlogging, because obviously, as you know, I've got wrist trouble. And obviously, you know, equipment is heavy for me to carry.
GoPros aren't heavy.
Exactly, that's why I've looked at GoPros.
Plug and play, isn't it?
But it's what you need to do to process it all and get it all. Oh, it's just very confusing. It's very confusing. I think a Dashcam would be possibly the best thing. What do you think? In fact, I tell you what, I'll put a poll on here.
Send you an email.
I'll put a poll on here. Dashcam or GoPro?
Oh, good.
Dashcam or... Oh, I've spelled that wrong. I've put dash. I made it into a dachshund. Oh dear me. I'm going to tell you something funny in a minute. I bet Brenda's having hysterics if she's read that one. Richard says, here's an idea. Sit on the top seat at the front of the local bus.
Oh dear.
What do you think to that, Brenda? What do you think to that, Brenda? Well, first of all, I would need to take a bucket with me. And, well, let's put it this way. It could be interesting footage, because we could do...
Especially if it was in colour.
Pilk vision, couldn't we? We could do pilk vision. That could be quite entertaining. Anyway, the question I was going to ask you was, having looked up having looked up, Keith says Brenda thinks it's hilarious. Well, let's put it this way. My face would go this colour. And then I'd start going, so if we decide that we think a dash cam or a GoPro or one or other piece of equipment would, I'm erring on the side of dash cam because they are legal to use, and you've also got the added safety of it doing the dash cam stuff. Yeah, I'm thinking that would be best. Anyway, if we decided to do that, and the possibilities are endless. There's loads of things we could do with that. Would you be up for a spot of pillion on my motorbike? Oh God. Richard, somebody needs to explain travel sickness to you. Somebody needs to explain travel sickness to you, because if I was sat pillion on your motorbike, you would get the whole lot down your neck.
I've just got visions of Wallace and Gromit. Sidecar.
Yeah. If we were to go with some kind of equipment to video A to B transit, would you be up for a fundraiser to raise the money to do crowdfunding and pay for it? Because I think they're about 300 quid. And what with the gas bill being as it is and price of petrol being as it is, it would be really appreciated if we could have a Ko-fi fundraiser in order to be able to raise the money to do it. Because you might remember, folks, I'm just wondering where I've put it. Where's my little widget? I think it might be downstairs. I think it's in my bag. You might remember that we did.
It is really appreciated.
This poor lad. This poor lad.
Can I open the window? I'm getting up.
You might remember that we did a fundraiser to buy a. I can't find me. I can find me wire. To buy a.
I'd often wondered.
Yeah, exactly. Ah, no, not that one. I'm looking in my cupboard. Just a second. Just talk among yourselves. I'll look for this. Ah, here we go. We did a Ko-fi fundraiser to buy one of these, which is a dual paired microphone gadget. And you lovely people helped me to raise the money to buy that so that I could go out doing interviews. And I actually use this quite a lot, and I use it when Chrissy and I are doing things, because you need two microphones and you can't plug them both into the same place, and that's the extension wire for it. The gadget is in my bag, because it's no good in the cupboard, is it? It's no good in the cupboard. And here's another box for another gadget. This is my square reader for doing contactless chip and pin. So you just, people think you run a business online and you just turn up with your pair of pram wheels and a plank of wood and a bit of rope. There you go, you see. Actually, that's not a bad idea, that, John. But there's loads of stuff that you end up having to buy. Right, I think we'll go for a pop with that then, shall we? There's quite a few of you sound like you're up for that one, so I think we'll have a bash and we'll we'll get you some really interesting footage with some very amusing commentary. Can you imagine the commentary while I've got Chrissy in the car? Could be very funny. Anyway, time's marching on. Time's marching on. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Time's marching on, and we've got things to do. We've got things to do, and I've done nothing but waffle. Right, so just a few comments and various different things that you've sent in. So first of all, Eric has already made Eric has already alluded to the fact that it's International Women's Day today, and he says, please could I wish all of us wonderful ladies kudos on this day, and thank you for all you do to make this world a better place. So I would absolutely echo that. So big round of applause and big pat on the head for all the ladies out there who, well, I mean, we make the world tick, don't we? We just make the world tick. The only trouble is, Matthew, if I was doing commentary with Chrissy in the car, might need a bleeper, might we? With both of us, I think you definitely would. I've had a nice email from David Small, who is in Newcastle, to say that he enjoys our wanders around Cleveland's, and enjoyed the one where I'd commented about B&M being the very first one in the country and being on the car park and as a series of garages. Now, that's before my time. That's before my time. But apparently he remembers them well. You used to go into one garage and they all had doors which led into each other until you came out at the other end, and the till where you paid for your items. There were always loads of people queuing up and some great bargains. In fact, I still have some bottles of shampoo and some bars of soap which I bought in those garages. You've had them a while, David. It brought back a lot of memories for me. The items were so cheap and always great value. Some were made for abroad and in foreign languages. Yes, you see, that was in the days before all the cheap stuff, wasn't it? So that was that. And Terry Burkitt sent this is apt when we were talking about brochure and everything going pear-shaped. He sent a poem in called Yesterday, which is not one that he wrote, but it's very good and I think it deserves a read out. And then I will go on to an original from John, from our Poet Laureate. I knew a place called Yesterday where once I used to live. Nobody there would turn away their time they'd always give. Everyone looked out for you as you did the same for them. In that place called Yesterday, I can still remember when. People never had anything much. What they did have, it was shared. They always waved and gave a smile. That's how we knew they cared. We used to call it mucking in. That's what it was all about. It was easier to help each other when all you had was nought. Now I live here in the present, in a street of those unknown, whose life is so much easier if they keep it close to home. Yes, I was raised in yesterday, where we always had respect. Here in this place called present, I find it suffering from neglect. I can't go back to yesterday. Developers knocked it down to give us all a better place to hang our heads and frown. And I think that's very true, that. Well done. Well done for sending that one in, Terry. And now we have a poem written by our very own Poet Laureate, John. Round of applause for John. And this is very apt because we've had some really really cold weather. It's been a bit of a shock. I've had to de-ice the car when I've been out. You don't do that here. And John's written a poem about the weather, about the frost. Are you ready? So we're nearly there. Sean's got to go back to work before he gets shot. Oh, what a shame. So this is John's poem. I woke up with frost on my window. I woke up with frost on my window. Not the usual frost that we know, but frost made up of ferns and foliage, with a perfect design it did show. The frost looks for imperfections, like sand or grit on the glass, running down in layers, creating this incredible mass. Nature is such a wonderful thing, too perfect for an artist to draw. Now we have frosty mornings ahead, we'll be seeing it more and more. So next time there's a freezing cold morning and there's patterns of ice on the pane, hurry and take a quick photo before the sun comes and melts it again. That's very good. And I think John and I had the same frost on our window, because he sent me a picture of the leaves, and they were just the same as the ones I'd seen on our window as well. And somebody said, let me just wiggle it up a little bit. Michael says, do we get a discount on hoodies if we buy your magnificent artwork and those little houses? I happen to have some more little houses. I've been busy with my Dremel. I've been making, ooh, tipping it up, she says. I've been making some more, look. So these are made with love. And we've got the anchor. And we've got all the pebbles and whatnot. And there you go, you see. Crafter's Corner. Crafter's Corner, that's what we are. Right, I think that's it. We haven't actually got any scams this week. We've got an email from the United Nations Committee on Rewards and Compensation, but they've not actually told me how much money they were going to give us. Bit mean, I think. Bit mean. So that's it. That brings us bang on to time. Oh, Crispy sent a donation to kick off the Dashcam doodah. Thank you ever so much, Crispy. That's really kind of you. Where's my poem? Where's my poem? Where's my swan song? So I will do a little bit more investigating, and we will discover what we are actually going to do, and I'll put a fundraiser on the Ko-fi thing, and then we can see how we oh, Gren, if there's any I make them and they go like that, the houses. So if you're expecting to come and buy one, you'll be lucky.
Can I buy one off plan?
I'm just having trouble with T-buying training. You need to talk to me, Gren, about houses if you want one. Right, that's it for another week. Thank you ever so much to everybody for joining me. Hopefully next week I might have some merchandise in our shop, and hopefully I will have sorted out what we're going to do about Dashcam, and hopefully I will have some idea what it is I'm supposed to be saying to you. And we can have another hour of mayhem. So have a lovely afternoon, everybody. Enjoy the sunshine. Have a nice week. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Have we? Oh, Lady Helen. Lady Helen, it's a good job you turned up. She's just reminded me about my birthdays. Aren't I awful? 8th to 15th of March. We're looking at. So on the 9th, it's Chris's birthday. And that's Chris and Sylvia. I've not got Chris's surname, but it's Chris as part of a Chris and Sylvia couple. On the 15th, it's Andrew Davis's birthday. So happy birthday. And thank you ever so much, Lady Helen, for reminding me, because otherwise I would have been for the chop. Right, that's it. That's it for today. We shall finish on our finale. I'm ready. I've got my glasses on. Smiling is infectious. You'll catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I passed around the corner and someone saw my grin. When he smiled, I realised I passed it on to him. I thought about that smile, then realised its worth. A single smile, just like mine, could travel round the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic, quick, and get the world infected. See you next week.